So the Long Beach mission, as I read in my packet, was one of the smallest missions in the world. And what's unique about it is that it runs from north to south about 15, maybe at 15 miles. And so you can get to north and south without traffic in about half an hour of a drive. With traffic, 35. And our borders from the west to east, it would take you probably about 20 minutes also. And after that, you're in the Anaheim mission or the Irvine mission, which is it's changed. And being called to Whittier, which is the northern city in our mission, it was majority, they said 50% Spanish out of 80,000 people. And so my area was a little bit more to the west of Whittier, which is more like 80% Spanish. And so everywhere we walked, you'd find Spanish people consistently. There are white people there, Caucasians, you find some Asians. One thing was really interesting is Huntington Beach, my area I was in. We found a lot of Middle Eastern people from Egypt, from Jordan, in these apartment complexes. And so it was unique to actually talk to one in their broken English, try to share them the gospel. We attempted to do it, but, they might not understand every single word we spoke. I thought, this is a neat experience to talk to somebody who has a way different view, or at least a little view, that's different from the LDS religion. And I think the whole mission, majority of it was Spanish. We had 60, 70 missionaries that spoke Spanish. We had 6 Cambodian speakers, and the rest of them, which is about 120, were English speakers. I remember, I think they had 7 stakes, and each of the stakes had at least one word or branch. Huntington Beach recently got their branch dissolved, and so the Spanish members there have gone into the English words. Another one is the Buena Park area. That ward actually was shared between Anaheim and Long Beach missionaries. And recently the mission department actually told that Anaheim now is going to take the Spanish ward. However, Long Beach is going to keep the English boundaries. And so that's another ward lost. And so we have about 5 wards, 1 in Whittier, 2 in Long Beach, 1 branch, and 1 ward, which covers all Long Beach except for the east part. And then a ward in the northern Huntington Beach area. And 1 in Cerritos, which is actually a really good ward I served in. In that area, a lot of Filipinos, we had a lot of Koreans, in my area at least, and then you have the Spanish people in the lower part, a little bit more rural, and a lot more white people in this area called Lakewood in Cerritos. It is more wealthier, more first class, but the mission is really unique with the melting pot, at least. I know that we have Vietnamese people also in a certain area, so talking to them was a challenge. And so we sent the Anaheim missionaries that were Vietnamese speaking come speak to them. But I do remember always how short it was just to get from place to place for transfers. If I want to compare it to inner mission, we had the perfect weather, so it's either 60 to 70 degrees year round. In summertime, we get to 80 or 90 depending on the heat wave. In wintertime, the lowest I remember it was about 48, 45 degrees, and so a jacket, like a winter jacket like what I'm wearing now, would be fine, and you could still track without having a serious problem with shivering or with getting frostbite at least. But California Long Beach mission is very unique with the diversity for sure, and for its size, and just for having a really good blend of white and Spanish people working together, trying to build the stake of Zion in each different zones we had. And I really enjoyed it, working with the different diversities. California is definitely a tough area to serve in as far as if you're looking to shoot for baptisms as a certain number. With a lot of diversity and culture, also a lot of churches. Majority are Catholic. If you're Spanish speakers, you will find those that are very much against the church, that do know maybe even people that may respect them, but otherwise, people are a little bit closer to their own beliefs and have a hard time giving up their own beliefs for those LDS church. And so, for me, one area, it was really tough. I was there for 7 months, and I didn't get a baptism. I was kind of like wondering what's going on here, trying everything I could, especially when you're training and being a district leader. It is a little tougher. You kind of help this new missionary out, showing that, you can baptize when really, this area is kind of like lacking that statistic. But wherever you go, it doesn't matter how many baptisms you get, but how many people you can keep in the church, because the biggest effort right now in California is retention. And there's a lot of anti-material there. In California, you will find opposition there greatly, but just prepare your investigators well, because California is not the easiest place to live in, especially in Long Beach, where it's a little bit more rural than Anaheim or maybe Los Angeles, especially in the nicer parts like Malibu or San Diego. And so high school kids are going to be facing a lot of trials, whether it be religion, whether it be, with alcohol or drugs or gang activity. So anything you can do is just to be their friend, teach them the gospel, be loving to them. That's something I learned on my mission, especially in Long Beach, is to love them no matter how much they might yell at you, or maybe how much they might ignore you or not understand something. Just love your mission. Just love Long Beach, because those opportunities will help you out. When you come here, you'll realize, how much you are thankful for having a house, for living in a place that's air conditioning, where you are financially stable. Because a lot of people over there are coming from Mexico, trying to have a life here. And whether they're working 48 hours a week with both parents working, or whether it be family problems, just understand that they're trying to get to the same place that we are, back to God. And so just to love them. Another thing I'd tell you is the weather's great, but if you're not used to the heat, I recommend you get short sleeve shirts and you get used to sweating, because that mission is majority biking. You might have a car if you're lucky, but if you sunburn easily, get ready to get sunscreen on. It is flat in most areas, but if you're in Whittier, it is more hilly, and so you're going to be going up hills, you're going to be pedaling hard. And if in the wintertime, if you're in Huntington Beach like I was, it might be a little bit humid, and so you might be freezing your fingers off or your hands and coming home from an appointment. And so I get ready for that. Definitely biking is going to be a big thing. And enjoy the weather, because wherever you live, whether it be in Alaska to the cold weather of Utah, enjoy it. And because it's the best weather you can have in the West and in the US.